Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my mid-year WIP parade. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about all my cross stitch. And if you're returning to my channel, thank you so much for watching and following along and all of your comments and whatnot. So this is going to be everything that I have worked on from the last week of December, because that's when I started pulling all my new stuff for the year, up through May 20, today's the 25th of May, but you're gonna be seeing it later. But basically up through the third week of May. So, I'm a mess. I've already filmed a floss tube, it's uploading right now. Filming my WIP parade, and then I'm going to film another video after this, so it's a day of filming. So far for today, I have a total of 108 projects to show you. The total number of projects I've worked on so far, the first like almost 6 months of the year, has been 108. 75 of those 108 have been new starts. I'm paying for what I did to myself last year. Last year I unintentionally did no new starts, and I'm paying for it now. So I have 75 new starts out of those 108 projects. And so far this year I have done a total of 114,514 stitches. So all that being said, I've got a lot to show. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try and keep this to one video. My end of year WIP parade / new start parade last year was a total of 5 videos. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this year. So far for my mid-year WIP parade, all I'm going to show you is the stuff I've actually worked on. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is from Cross Stitch for the Earth. This is a book from Emma Congdon. I'm trying to pick it up. I'm having difficulty. So Cross Stitch for the Earth. No, this is the book. You can get it on Amazon. And these pieces don't really have like names per se, so you can kind of make up your own name. I am calling this Ancestors, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. It says, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children, and it says it's a Native American proverb. So this was a new start this year. If I have photos from last year, then I'll go ahead and show those. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you the project. I'm doing this on a 14 count white Aida with 2 strands of the DMC that's called for. I only got, where'd my board go? Here. Ah, I dropped my tablet. I'm gonna need that. Hang on one second, sorry. Oh man, I'm a mess. Okay, so far I've only put in 300 stitches on it. It was like something that I had like just pulled out. So I have a thread hanging because I had a lot left, but I had to stop for the night. So let me get this, there we go. So I've done 300 stitches on it so far this year. So there's that one. I like her stuff, Emma Congdon. She also, in case you don't know, goes by Stitchrobia on Etsy. And then she has a lot of books on Amazon. She has like 4 total. I just got one of them, the Cottages one. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, next up is an Old Dimensions kit. This was a WIP, and it is called Aurora Cabin. It is designed by Kim Norlin. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I've seen it floating around Facebook, so it's still available. I have only done 100 stitches on it so far this year, and where did I put them? I believe I have threads hanging all over the place. because it's got a lot of like blended threads and whatnot, and I didn't want to like have to end them and then have all these extra little fiddly bits, so I just leave them hanging where they're supposed to go next. But I've only done 100 stitches on it so far this year, and I believe it was all up here. I could be wrong in that. You'll see it in the before picture, but I'm pretty sure it was right there. Yeah, no, it was right there. So I've only done, yeah. So that is where that one is so far. It's a lot of 4 strands of this and 6 strands of this, and take 2 strands of this color and 1 strand of this color, and you do it with this symbol and half cross, but this symbol is full cross and blah, 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 blah. But it's really pretty, so it's whatever. All right, next up is, 100, okay. Next up is Autumn Favorites, and this is from Shannon Christine Designs. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I am doing this on a 14 count Aida in the color Chalkboard. So it's not as brightly colored as the cover photo, because the chalkboard fabric kind of gives it that chalkboardy dusty look, which I'm kind of digging. So I did 500 stitches on it so far this year, which was all right up here in the truck. It's a super easy stitch. I like it a lot, and it's turning out really nice. So yeah, so there's that one. I'll be excited to pull this one out again in the fall. I'm trying a thing this year of seasonal stitching. If you've never seen my videos before, I usually just stitch whatever, whenever time of the year. But I thought this year I would try to do like kind of seasonal stitching, so I'm gearing up to start summer stitching, plus some non-seasonal stuff thrown in too. I'm liking it so far. Okay, next up is, and that was a whip, so you saw the photo. Next up is Bake the World from Franny Ritter Designs. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. It says, Bake the World a Better Place. It calls for DMC and 3 Mill Hill beads, which I don't have the beads yet. I just have to order them. So if I end up pulling this out to do any more, because this was when I had this out for my spring stitching. So if I pull it out for any of the other ones, then I'll go ahead and order the beads. So this is where I'm at with it so far. Whoopsies. This is where I'm at with it so far. I have done a total of 1,110 stitches on it since the beginning of the year. And I am doing this on a 28 count Jobelin in the color Coffee by Witch Elk, 2/2. If you watched my most recent floss tube, you've just seen some of these are going to be like pretty new-ish that you're like, oh yeah, you just showed that, because I just did a floss tube, which will be uploaded and shown on today. This video will probably be shown like later this week. Next up is a new start, and this is called Beach Getaway. Side note, I am not going to be linking any patterns or anything like that down below because it will be way too much. It's 108 different projects. There's no way I can have a link for everything down below. So, but this is Beach Getaway. It's from Charting Creations, and it's an image licensed by Shutterstock. It is 325 by 490. It has 101 different colors in it. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. There we go. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. Like I said, this is a new start, and I am stitching this on it's like ended up being like a 30 count fabric, like Aida/even weave, that I picked up on AliExpress. I got like a crap ton of it, and so I'm doing my full coverages on it, and that is where I'm at with it so far. I have done 800 stitches on it. And one moment, and I will tell you what percentage I'm at. So I've done 800 stitches out of 159,250, and I am at 0.5% with it. And I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on this fabric. So the whole piece is going to be about that big. That's not too bad. Trying to do my full coverages on like a higher count fabric so they're not like humongous, you know. Next up is another new start, and this is another piece from Shannon Christine Designs, and this is called Belle, and that is what she's going to look like when she's done. Isn't she pretty? I'm doing this on a 28 count Lugana in the color Winter Skies by Live and Die LA. And like I said, this was a new start for me this year, and I'm doing it 2/2 full cross. I had to think about which way this went. And I have done 500. I keep looking off to my left because that's where my computer is. It tells me how many stitches I've done on everything. I've done 500 stitches on her so far. I have the fabric all folded up so that it's not like, you know, so you can see it better. But I did a center start on her, and that's 500 stitches. And so this is that part of her dress right there. Pretty easy chart to follow too. What I might do is next time this gets like put into my stack of whips to rotate through, I'll probably make a working copy of the chart so I can highlight it, because I was just, did I do that already actually? I may have. Oh, I did already. Never mind. Made a copy of the chart so I can highlight it. Okay. Next up is a whip. This is Best Friends Quotes. It's the project I said that I was going to have done by the end of January, and I did not do that. This is Best Friends Quotes from Stitch Area. Yeah, Stitch Area. This pattern is no longer available, but if you like this style, I believe that there's a few other people on Etsy that have something that is similar to this. And it's all quotes from the TV show Friends. It's really close to being done. I have put 650 stitches in on it so far this year. I'm doing it on a 20 count cream, I guess, Aida. It barely fits, but it will fit. So this is where well, let me do it like this. I'm almost done. So what I have left is the dots here. I have to finish this right here. I have to finish Holiday Armadillo. I have to finish this. It's going to say Wapa, Turkey. Hello, my name is Regina Phalange. I have to finish the duck. And I have to finish Big Fat Goalie. And I think that's it. It's almost done. It's getting there. Okay. Next up is a new start. This was an old kit that I had picked up from an old lady on Facebook Marketplace. I got it for like $1. Can't beat that, right? This is a Bucilla kit called Best of Christmas. Yeah, it's called the Best of Christmas. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I did do some color converting because I did not feel like dealing with the Bucilla kits. The colors just all come in a big knot. Like it's just all bunched together. It's not separated or anything. So what I did was I changed the colors to DMC and wrote down my conversion on my legend so that I wouldn't have to worry about separating them. I kind of separated them, and then I looked a big, oh, I also didn't have the thread organizer to put the colors on. So what I did was I kind of separated them, and then I looked at the color, and I looked at like a color that looked like it would work for the DMC, and I did a conversion. So I've done 500 stitches on it so far this year, and that is where I'm at with it. And it was designed by Linda Gillum, I think is what that says. From the Cooler Design Studio. Linda Gillum from the Cooler Design Studio. Like I said, I did 500 stitches, and I used the fabric that came in the kit, but I converted it to DMC floss. Okay. Next up is another new start. Like I said, I have 75 new starts this year. Okay. So this is Black Cats and Pumpkins by Little Dove Designs. And let me read this real quick before I show it. It says, when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, may luck be yours on Halloween. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I did a center start. I'm doing it on I believe this is a 16 count Aida in the color chalk, 16 count Aida in chalkboard. I didn't want to do black. I didn't want to do I think it calls for like a navy color, but I had chalkboard and I figured that would work. So I did this as center start, and I need to do the border around this, but I have that center section completely stitched. And I have done 1,198 stitches on this so far. I like it a lot. I'll be happy when that's done, because then I can do something with it and hang it up. Okay, next up is WIP. This hardly has anything stitched on it. You'll actually see more progress if I end up working on this, because I pulled it to work on for my floss tube. This is Bless This Nest. It's an old Bucilla kit from 2011, and it was designed by Andrea Takira. I don't know how to say her name. But Bless This Nest. So you're hardly going to see any progress on this, because I'm showing this from when I had moved, which is like 50 stitches. It was right up here. But I did pull this to work on for my floss tube, so you'll see more at the end of your WIP parade. Okay. Well, in my next floss tube too, if I work on it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I only did like 50 stitches on it. Okay. This needs to go over here. Okay. Next up is another new start. And this is a bookmark that I started. And this is also from Bucilla. The one I started is this one here. I'm calling it Cups. I'm gonna do both of them, but this is the one that I started. I did a center start on it, and I've done 566 stitches on it. So except for the bottom back stitching, because there's a cup under here, this cup is done, and the top back stitching, because there's a cup on top of here, this one. So these two kind of are completely done, except for the back stitching that will go in once the cups above and below them are completed. But I did 566 stitches on this. So there's that. Next up is another new start, and this is a stitch along from 2022 from the Steady Thread. This is Botanical Blackwork. I don't really have a cover photo to show. I'm going to show you the layout of the one I'm doing. You can either do it like that, or you can do it like that. So I opted for this one. This was a new start just recently, and I'm doing it on a 14 count white Aida. And the colors that I'm using, the green, I'm doing 904. So this is a blackwork piece. Blackwork is just super fancy back stitching. That's how I kind of see it. The green I'm doing in 904, and those flowers I'm doing in 38. I did in 3832. And what I decided to do was I'm keeping the 904 throughout the border and the leaves. What I'm noticing is the bigger pieces are like, I think like this stuff are like different types of leaves. So those will probably stay 904. And then anything extra in these same shaped boxes as this one, like if there's more flowers, they're gonna be in the same color. They're gonna be in 3832. Anything else, because there's other shapes as well, so if anything else has flowers in it, I'll do those in a different color. So 600 stitches on that one. Next up is from a series called Calendar Girls, and this is from Little House Needleworks. Got these from my friend Suki. Okay, so my plan is to do all of them. I have not started all of them. I'll show you the ones I have started. So Little House Needleworks, and this was the Calendar Girls series from 2014. So this one is April. That's what she's gonna look like when she's done. And I'm doing them all on like a 32 count. I have one of the pieces of fabric. Oh, here it is. I'm doing them all on a 32 count Legacy Lugana from Picture This Plus. And I'm doing it 2/2. So here's April. She has 500 stitches on her. She is currently headless. And just to annoy Alara, I'm going to keep her headless until the very end. Her head will be the last thing I do. So that one is April. And then I also started May, which is this one here. And she also has 500 stitches on her, and that is where she is at so far. Again, 2/2, and it's just DMC. And then I started one more. I started September. Let me pull this out. So this is what September is going to look like. And one second, make sure I keep these in order. I don't know why, because I'm going to prep to pull my summer projects, which means I got to get this ready too. September, here she is. I don't have her necessarily worked on, except for her feet, but I did get the border done. So September and this vine border, that's all completely done. I just have to do her now. And she has, all 3 of them had 500 stitches put in on them. So as you can see, if I actually sit down and really work on them, they're going to go pretty quick. For me at least. I'm estimating maybe like they should have less than 2,000 stitches on them. Like maybe 1,500. I don't know. But they seem like they're pretty quick. Okay. Let me just put this over here. Okay, next up. All 3 of those were new starts, by the way. Hang on. Okay, next up is a WIP. This is from Design Works, and this is called Christmas ABC. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. These types of projects, when there's something like this, I like to complete each block in its entirety before I go back to it. This one is a little bit of an exception because there are beads in this thing. And because I did a center start, I have not done the beads in either one of these blocks. I have 2 blocks done. This is where I'm at with it. I did 1,484 stitches on it. And so far I've completed this was already done. And I did the poinsettia block so far this year. But I don't have the beads done. That's what the extra white spots in the ornaments are for. And then there's going to be some beads that go in the center of the flower of the poinsettia. But what I plan on doing is when this comes out for Christmas is I'm just going to like kind of work on blocks going up to the very top. And then I will start beading as I get the blocks done, because I stitch in hand. So I roll my fabric. So I roll my fabric like this and I hold it at the bottom unless it's like a long narrow piece, and then I'll roll it from the side. But I stitch like this, so I don't really want to have beads pushing into my fingers when I'm stitching. So I want to save the beading until I'm up at the top, and then the beads will just hang over as I work down a piece, if that makes sense. So yeah, 1,484 stitches on that, and I have 2 blocks done out of 26. So I got 24 blocks left. Okay, next up is, did I kick the camera? I think I kicked the tripod, my bad. Next up is Christmas calendar, and this is from Tiny Modernist. I just gotta find it on here. I feel like I have a hair on my lip. I did. That's awesome. Okay, Christmas calendar. Like I said, this is from Tiny Modernist, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have done 500 stitches on it. This was a new start. And I am doing this on an 18 count Aida in the color Stratus. 2 strands of DMC over 1. So like I said, I've done 500 stitches on it so far. Yeah, 18 count Aida in the color Stratus. I don't know, oh, from Color and Cotton. This one actually did have the dyer on it. And for the cross stitching, there is some back stitching on this, but not a whole lot. But for the cross stitching, so far I have 500 done out of 14,847. I'm 3.37% complete. I'm not going to count the back stitching as like part of the completion until the very end, and then I'll be like, I'm all done. Okay, let me see. I feel like I'm like rushing through this, but I'm already 30 minutes in and I have 3 stacks of projects and I'm only partway through the first stack. I have these in alphabetical order, not chronological order, because I don't really keep track of start dates, so I don't remember when I started a lot of these. Next up is, oh man, I'm calling it Christmas Reindeer. This kit is available on Charting Creations. If you go to chartingcreations.com, I got this off of Etsy. But if you go to chartingcreations.com and type in HB-680, this project comes up as a kit and you can buy it. So yeah. I just don't remember the name of the project. Anyway, I'm calling it Christmas Reindeer. I have done 500 stitches on this guy so far. Like I said, this is a whip. I'm just using whatever comes in the kit. I've already mapped it out and it does fit before you see this and you freak out. But you know how kits are, they barely fit. But I've done 500 stitches so far up in that left antler. That's where I'm at with him. I'm liking it so far. I really, I think it's gonna look really good once I get this thing done, but it's gonna take me forever. Forever and ever, just like all my projects always do. Okay. The problem is that I have so many things that I want to stitch. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to keep my stuff corralled and I don't know how successful I'm going to be in this. I know I disappeared. I'm back. Okay. Next up is a whip. This is Christmas Rules from Primrose Cottage Stitches, designed by Lindsay Waite. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Get a little bit of a close up there. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing this on like a 16 or an 18. Do I have the sticker on it still? No. I believe this is a 16 count Ada. I picked up, I got like a light gray or like a gray color off of 1, 2, 3 Stitch. And this is where I'm at with it. So far, I did 600 stitches on it and worked on this area up here. So that's where I'm at with that one. All right. Next up is another new start. This is Christmas with Friends from Keslin's, and I don't know where to put my. I don't quite know where to put my stuff. Christmas with Friends by Keslin's. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. It calls for DMC and 1, 2, 3 petite treasure braids, which I need to pick up. But I am doing this on, do I still have the sticker on it? I do. I'm doing this on a 28 count Lugana in the color Glacier from Picture This Plus. And so far this year, I've done 1,000 stitches on it. And that is where I'm at with it. So far, I'm doing 2 over 2. So I'm leaving the spots for where the petite treasure braid needs to go. I just need to order it. So the S is done except for the treasure braid, and I'm working on the T. I might have to divide this into 2 videos. Okay, next up. Okay, next up is another new start. This is a small kit from Dimensions called Coffee Shop. And I was trying to see if the designer was listed on here or not. It's a petite. Might be on the instruction thing. But this is a Dimensions Gold Collection Petite. So, yeah, a lot of detail. And a lot of half cross, full cross, blends, all that good stuff. I've done 500 stitches on this thing so far. And I'm just using whatever came in the kit. And I was able to figure out where to start in the corner. I had to like triple check my count because this seems like a really big border. Dimensions is notorious for giving 1-inch borders, but this is more than 1 inch. So hopefully I counted it right. I think I did though. I'm pretty sure I did. But anyway, 500 stitches on it so far. It's actually more than 500 because a lot of this is all half cross up here. And so when I'm counting my stitches, 2 half crosses counts as 1 stitch. Dropped it. 2 half crosses count as 1 stitch for like my games I play on Facebook with it. So it's actually more than 500. I'm just counting it as 500, if that makes sense. Okay, next up is another new start, and this is a kit from Artiste, and it is called Colorful Cow. And this is what she's going to look like when she's done. Isn't she cute? She looks like absolutely nothing right now. Like I started her. She looks like absolutely nothing because of how the colors are. It's hard to tell what's what. I have done, I don't even know what direction this goes in. Hang on. I've done a total of 1,000 stitches. Pretty sure it goes like this. I've done a total of 1,000 stitches on her so far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how she goes. And I'm just using whatever came in the kit. No. Yeah, like that. All right, 1,000 stitches so far. Not really going to be able to tell much of anything until I get more of her done. Because of the way that the colors are. But that's okay. Okay, next up is another new start. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is called Coming to Room. I believe this is, God bless. Oh my God. Okay. Coming to Room. Artwork is by Sarah Marchetti. And it is regular size. Oh, no, I lied. Jan Patrick Kresny. My bad. That is my bad. Coming to Room, max color, regular size max color. It's 875 by 626. It has 239 colors. And, oh dear, hang on. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm charging my tablet and the cord got stuck under my thing. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I did an upper left-hand corner start on this. So it's just very boring background, especially because so far I only have 600 stitches on it. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on that 30 count fabric from China, from AliExpress that I got. That is my starting point. I've done 600 stitches out of 547,750. I am 0.11% done. So there is that. And I am keeping it in a bag that Aurora made. Look at that. It looks like my Mr. Whiskers. My Belle, my favorite kitty in the whole wide world. Don't tell Gracie Lou that though, my other cat. She get mad. All right, next up is another new start, and this is Cookie Time from Soda Stitch Designs. This was my first Soda Stitch, and I have to say I am quite pleased with how these stitch up. So this is what Cookie Time is going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing this on a 28 count white Monaco 2/2. It just, oh my God. There we go. It just calls for DMC. And I have done 500 stitches on it so far. So this cookie cutter is done. This whisk is completely done. I like how they do like partial back stitching where it's like kind of like fading in and out almost. And then I started on the cookie cutter below that one there. So 500 stitches on that one so far. And I do have this in Pattern Keeper. So I have I am like actually, nope. I have it in Pattern Keeper, but how did I do that? Oh, because of the back stitching. I'm like, wait a minute. So for cross stitching, I have 398 stitches done, and then I did 102 stitches of back stitching on it. For the cross stitching, I am 2.62% done, and it's got 15,173 cross stitches. It always throws me off with that stuff. Okay, next up is another new start. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio, and this is Creekview Cottages Somerset. Let me find it. And this is from what did I say? Cross Stitch Studio, sorry. It's 825 by 825. It has 139 colors. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I did an upper left-hand corner start. I am doing 2 strands over 1 10th stitch on I believe this is a 28 count easy count Lugana. That is my starting, or that's where I'm at with it so far. Like I said, I've done 1,000 stitches on it out of 680,625. I am 0.15% complete. So there's that. Okay, next up is a whip. And it's a really old whip. It's called Cuddly Bear Quilt. Cover sheets over here, it fell out of the bag. Old blanket from Sunset. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I currently have it in a battle of which one I'm going to work on for the month of June with this and another one of my really old whips, which is on my floss tube. So if you haven't seen my floss tube yet for May 25th, and it's not yet June 1st, go watch it and go vote which one you want to see. But yeah, so this is, hang on. I've got so much crap going on right now. This is where I'm at with it so far. I'm just gonna do it like this because it's so big. It's hard to see. It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there. I have no idea how many stitches were done on it before, but so far this year I've done 500. I need to get a new bag for it because my bag is falling apart. I was having a Ziploc bag, but this thing is so like bulky that it's like ripping the bag apart now. Okay, this needs to stay over here. Okay, next up is a whip. This is a retired chart from Pain Free Crafts, and it's called Day to Night Africa. Please. Sorry, I just gotta find it on pattern paper. Artwork, so Day to Night Africa, artwork is by Lars Stewart. Here it is. It's 650 by 464. I do not know how many colors it uses. Stop. But this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And so far this year, I have put 400 stitches on it. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana, and I've done 400 stitches on it. Have a hanging thread there, and so far total I have 1,900 stitches done out of 301,600. I am 0.63% complete. There we go. So there's that. All right, next up is another Day to Night piece. Again, retired chart from Pain Free Crafts. This one is Day to Night Tropics. And again, artwork by Lars Stewart. It's 600 by 430. This is what it's going to look like when it is done. And on this one, so far this year, I did 400 stitches. I am also doing this 1/1 full cross on, I believe this one is a 28 count easy count Lugana. And I am at 1,700 stitches done out of 258,000, and I am at 0.66% complete. Upper left-hand corner starts for both of them. Next up is a new start. This was something that one of my subscribers had sent me, and it's a little Janlin kit, a really old one. It's the Dolly Mamas, and this one is Dolly Mama Coffee. It says bring coffee and no one gets hurt. So far this year, like I said, this was a new start, so I have put 400 stitches in on her. It came as a full kit, so I'm just using whatever came in the kit, and I believe this is a 14 count white Ada. So 400 stitches on her so far. Really easy to stitch up. I feel like this is a never-ending dress though. I thought that was, I feel like it's taking forever. And then the other Dolly Mama that she sent me two. the other Dolly Mama that she sent me is Dolly Mama Ho. Super cute. I like it a lot. And this one has 552 stitches on this. Hang on. I'm trying to keep everything contained. So 552 stitches on her, and I have her dress. I believe I have her dress and her gloves and like part of her neck done. Yeah, so 552 stitches on her. I feel like this is gonna have to be a 3-parter. I'm at 51 minutes, maybe a 2-parter, and I'm only on the D's. Okay, next up is another new start, and this one is Dreaming of Autumn Leaves from Rosewood Manor. And this was released last year from Karen Kluba, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using the called for threads. I need to get the rest of them. I have some, I need to get the rest. I'm not going to worry about it right now though. And I am doing this on, I'm doing this on a 32 count cream Lugana. Like I said, with the called for threads, 2 over 2. I have done 500 stitches on it so far this year. And I started at the top. There's going to be some spaces where things need to go of thread that I have not purchased yet. But that is where I'm at with that so far. I really like it a lot. I'll be excited to pull this out again in the fall. Hang on, I need a beverage. Okay. Next up is a WIP. This is from Tiny Modernist, and this is called Easter Calendar. And I am doing this on some kind of 28 count purple fabric. I have no clue what it is, but this is what Easter Calendar will look like when it's done. And I'm doing this 2 over 2. And that is, I got 500 stitches on it so far this year, and that is where I'm at with it so far. It's more of like, it's not as dark as the camera is showing. It's more of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not as dark. It's a little bit brighter than what the camera's showing. But yeah, 500 stitches on it so far this year. All in day 7. Okay. Oh my God. There we go. Next up is a new start. Hang on 1 second. 1 moment, please. There we go. Okay. All right, next up is a new start from, it's a Mill Hill kit. Buttons and Beads series. Hang on. What's happening? Buttons and Bees series, the autumn series, Enchanted Pumpkin. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And oh dear. Okay, I'm good. I didn't think about which way this went. So far this year, I have done 500 stitches on it. I started in the middle, and then I worked my way up to the top and over a little bit, but that's where I'm at with it so far. It's one of the first moho kits. I just started doing moho kits this year, but yeah, and so far I'm enjoying. One more look, because I feel like that was super quick. 500 stitches. Okay, next up is another moho kit. This was also a new start. And this one is Espresso. This is also from the Autumn series. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And on this one, I have 1,000 stitches done. And that's where I'm at with that one so far. This is just cross stitching. This is no beading. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that one so far. Next up is another new start. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's called Family Vacation. I have to find it. Here it is. Hang on. All right, Family Vacation Max Color. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. It is 700 by 469. And this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. I really love this piece. It's so quintessential family vacays in the summertime, right? I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on like that 30 count China Aida, or even whatever. This stuff I got in AliExpress. 1/1 full cross. I've done 400 stitches on it so far, and I am at 400 stitches done out of 328,300. I am at 0.12% complete. That'll be the whole piece once it's done. That's not too bad. Sometimes these big pieces, when you do them on a like a low count of fabric, like a 14 or a 16, they're like massive. But this is more of like maybe a 30 count fabric, so that really is not that bad. Which I say that, and then, you're going to see some of these other pieces I have that I did on a lower count fabric, like 25, and it's like they're huge. It's kind of funny. Anyway. Okay, next up is a whip. This is Frederick. He was my whip of shame for the month of May. I decided to pull, this is what it's going to look, it's an old kit from Creative Accents, which became Dimensions, or it's a division of Dimensions, but I bought this back in like 2006, and that's what he's going to look like when he's done. What I decided to do was start working on my super duper old whips, like doing 100 stitches a day for a month to try to get some progress on them, so I could eventually finish them. So far this month, because I only worked on it in the month of May, so far I've done 1,938 stitches on him, doing that 100 stitch a day thing. I didn't work on him every day in the month of May, but I got a lot of progress on him. So I'm pleased. And I'm just using whatever came in the kit. Still have another week to work on him, so I'm gonna put him over here instead of in this pile. Okay, I'm at 1 hour exactly. Go a little bit longer. I think I'll make this a 2-parter. Okay, next up is a new start. This is from a little kit from Artiste, and it's called Gilded Birdcage. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm just using whatever came in the kit. There is like a little gold metallic that goes in this as well. And I did 500 stitches on it so far this year. So there's that. Next up is a whip from cutebroidery.com, and it's called Gingerbread. I think it's called Gingerbread Gnome. I know I'm calling it Gingerbread Gnome. I don't know if that's what it's called on the website. But that's what he's gonna look like when he's done. And I'm doing this on a 14 count. I think this is fiddler's cloth. Ada. I've done 400 stitches on him so far this year. That's where he is. It's really cute. I think I have like the cross stitching part in Pattern Keeper, so it's like throwing me off because I think I've been going back and forth between the paper pattern and the Pattern Keeper pattern. So yeah. All right, next up is from I always get all these companies mixed up. Next up is the Gingerbread Smalls series from Twin Peak Primitives. I want to do all 9 of them, but so far I have started 2. I've started the carousel and I've started the train. So the first one I'm going to show you, and I'm doing them all on a 28 count even weave in the color Cornflower. I want to say, by Fiber on a Whim, and I'm doing it 2/2. The called for DMC. Both of these were new starts this year, so I don't need to show a before picture, but the carousel is 1,600 stitches so far. And then the train, I've done 500? Yeah. The train I've done 500 stitches on. Isn't that cute? So I'm doing it all. There's a third. Oh, I've started 3 of them, my bad. But I haven't worked on that middle one. But I'm starting them all on the same piece of fabric. And then once they're done, I'm gonna cut them up and put them into, like, make them into pillows or something. So, oh, let me show you the 2 that I just showed you, the carousel. Let me show them a little bit closer because I just realized I didn't do that. So I started the carousel, right? It's really cute with the candy cane poles and the gumdrop button bottom. Not the gumdrop buttons. And the train over here, which is super duper cute. I like them a lot. They're really adorable. Okay. Next up is another new start. This is from Sue Hillis Designs, and it's called Good Friends. And it says, hang on, let me pull it out. It says, good friends make each other laugh. Really good friends go for the snort. And I am doing this on a 32 count Murano in the color Pink Splash that I picked up at, I don't know, one of the craft stores. That is where I'm at with it so far, and I have done 500 stitches on it. But that's where that one is so far. And I'm just using what the called for floss. It's just DMC. Okay. Next up is a WIP. This is from Designs for the Needle. It's a super old kit, and it's called Goodnight Bears. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. And so far this year, I have put in 500 stitches on it. I'm just using whatever comes in the kit. And that is where I'm at with this one so far. It's really cute. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it when I'm done, but it's cute. Next up is from Grinch Gnome and Company from Maya Stitch on Etsy. I'm going to show you the mock-up in Pattern Keeper. This is without the back stitching, so I don't have the... Did I print the... No, I did not print the cover photo. I need to print the cover photo. I'll do that later in the year though. So this is the mock-up without back stitching, Grinch Gnome and Company. And I put in 266 stitches on this year so far to complete that middle gnome right there. So I'm doing this on a 28 count white Monaco with 2 strands over 2. And I'm just using the called for DMC. But I got the middle gnome completely done. So I just gotta do the other 2. It's really cute. Okay, next up is a new start. This is from Tiny Modernist, and this is Halloween calendar. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this on, I want to say this is a Live and Die LA fabric. Oh, I was right. 28 count Lugana in the color Dusk from Live and Die LA. I'm just using the called for thread. Oh, I'm liking it. Called for thread so far. That is where I'm at with that. And I do have it in Pattern Keeper, so I can tell you the percentage completed of the cross stitching as soon as I find it. Here it is. So for the cross stitching part, I have 600 stitches done, right? Yeah, 600 stitches done out of 16,842. I'm at 3.56% complete. And some of the blocks do have some back stitching in them. I just don't know which ones yet. But block 14 is completely done. Okay. Next up is Halloween letters from Primrose Cottage Stitches, designed by Lindsay Waite. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. No, I didn't work on this one. I grabbed the wrong one. I was supposed to grab Halloween Wishes. I didn't work on this yet. this year. I grabbed the wrong one. I did Halloween wishes. I have a lot of Halloween pieces. Is this it? Yeah. My bad. Halloween wishes from Glendon Place. Designed by Cheryl Granda, who I found out apparently is kind of a neighbor of mine. She lives like one town over. I thought that was kind of cool, like 15 minutes from me. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so I'm doing it on a different fabric than what's called for. Mine is a 32 count vintage Stormy Night. And I'm doing it with the called for floss. I got the floss pack when I got the pattern. Yeah, 32 count vintage Stormy Night. So I got the floss pack and I got 600 stitches completed on it so far. That is where I'm at with it. Isn't that cool? I like it. I'm dropping stuff. I feel like I should make this a two-parter because I'm hungry and I'm only on H. And I'm already an hour and 12 minutes into this. Next up is another new start, and this is Hedgehog. It was a little chart that I picked up at a stitching retreat I went to last year, Stitching in the Springs. And that is what it's gonna look like when it's done. So far this year, I've put in 1,022 stitches on it, and I am just using a piece of 14 count white Aida. And that is what he looks like so far. Super cute. Okay, next up is another new start. This is another blackwork piece. This one is from Peppermint Purple. And this one is called Hints of Peacock. This is a combination of cross stitching and blackwork. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I saw my friend Iwana stitching this and that made me buy it. So it's all her fault. I'm doing this, if it's cross stitching, I'm using 2 strands of floss. If it's blackwork, I'm using 1 strand, and I'm doing it on a 28 count white Monaco. I had to think about which way I was stitching it. 28 count white Monaco. So far this year, I've put in 500 stitches on it. So yeah. Okay. Next up is another new start, and this one is from Primrose Cottage Stitches, and this is Hive Rules. Designed by Lindsay Waite. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this on a 28 count white Jobelin 2/2. And that is where I'm at with it so far. And I have put in 1,158 stitches on it. I really like this one a lot. I'm using whatever the call for threads are. They're just DMCs. But yeah, I'm using the call for threads, it's 2/2 full cross on the 28 count white Jobelin. Okay, next up is another new start. This one is Holiday Quaker, and it is from Lila Studio. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this on a 32 count Lugana in the color Something Blue from Mystic Fabrics. I love Mystic Fabrics. I actually get her fabric of the month, but I don't typically show her fabric of the month on my channel unless I'm actually using it, because sometimes people get mad that it gets spoiled. I don't care. I want to be spoiled. I want to know what I'm getting. But yeah, this is where I'm at with it so far. I have put in 500 stitches on it, and I started in the upper left-hand corner, and I am using the called for colors. There's a mix of some DMC and some fancy floss. But that's where I'm at with that one so far. Next up is another new start. This is from Design Works. No, hang on 1 second. I just realized I messed something up. Hang on. Okay. Next up is from Design Works. This is called Home Sweet Home. I'm using whatever came in the kit. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And like I said, it's a new start. And it is on a 14 count white Aida. Maybe it's a 16. Might be. Nah, it might be 16. 16 count. Did I say white Aida? I meant black. I've done 504 stitches on it so far this year. And I did a center start on it. Okay. Next up is one of my focus pieces for the year. And this one is Honeymoon Sunset, charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. I am doing a challenge with Aurora. We each picked a project to put in 25,000 stitches on. Originally our plan was going to be 25K in 25 weeks, so 1,000 stitches a week. But both of us had some curveballs thrown at us regarding like real life, so we agreed to drop it down to 500 stitches a week and just extend the deadline out so that until the 25,000 is met. But this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. And this was not a new start, this is a WIP. So far this year I've put in 17,832 stitches. Now, I have it sitting in my lap. Hang on. Okay. So far for the challenge, like I said, I've put in 17,832 stitches. I started the year, that's what I was looking for. I started the year at 169,188 stitches done, and I started the year at 30%. I am currently, oh my God, I can't see. I am currently at 187,099 stitches out of 563,981, and I am at 33.17% complete. I'm doing this on a 25 count, easy count Lugana, 2 strands of DMC. I'm just using whatever's called for. 2 strands of DMC over 2/1, 10th stitch. So this is where I'm at with it so far. This is my, out of all my full coverages, but you see what I mean? Like, I mean, it's like no, dimension wise, it's no bigger than like some of those other ones I have from Heaven and Earth Designs, but because of the count, it seems like it's so much bigger. But out of all my full coverages, this one is probably my favorite. So I have like, let's see, 17. So to catch up, because I got behind because not only did life throw curveballs at me, but then I moved. And so I didn't stitch at all for like 2 weeks. So I'm still 200 stitches behind. So once I get those 200, which I'll do this weekend, I'm sure, then I'll be at 18,000 stitches done. So I will only need to do 7,000 more stitches to finish my challenge. Okay, next up is a WIP. This is an old sow from Stiach, and this is called House. This was their Stiach Alone from 2020. And that's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I decided, because I was crazy back then, I mean, I'm still crazy, but I'm doing this on like a 16 or 18 count, like ivory cream Aida. But I decided that I was going to do it in 4 different color schemes. Same piece, 4 different color schemes. So I'm just kind of going pattern by pattern, getting each one done. I believe, hang on. Part 1 is complete. I believe part 2 is complete on all of them. And I want to say that I started part 3. Nope. Part 3 is not complete. Part 3 is where I started for the year. I believe part 3 is done on the green. So far this year, I've put in 600 stitches on it. Yeah. Okay. Next up is another new start. This one was one of the few projects so I didn't stitch for 2 weeks, and then like once I kind of like moved and everything, I was just working on like bits here and there. But this is a kit that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and it's from Designworks. Yeah, it's from Designworks. The cover photo, for some reason, they have made a copy of it. So I don't know what the colors are gonna, like I know what the colors are gonna be because I have the thread. I just don't know where the colors go based on this. But it's kind of cool. It's like a mystery piece. Everything else in the kit was new. It's like they just made a copy of the cover photo. So I don't know what was up with that. But anyway, that's where I'm at with that one. I've only put in like 50 stitches on it. I didn't really count. I'm estimating 50. I didn't count. I was just doing what I could with what I had, which was like, you know, I had like no scissors. I didn't have my counter, nothing like that. Okay, next up is another new start, and this is from Designs for the Needle, and it's Isaiah. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using whatever comes in the kit. So far this year, or since I started it, I've put in 500 stitches on it. Started in the middle, worked down a little bit, and then up. Yeah. And like I said, I'm just using whatever comes in the kit. I'm doing this kind of like in memory of my grandfather, who really, really loved eagles, and then kind of like in honor of my other grandfather, who was like super religious, who also loved eagles. Okay, next up is another new start, and this is from Sugar Stitches Design, and this is called It's a Marshmallow World. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. Super, super cute piece. I heart it so much. I'm doing this on a 16 count. I want to say it's a milk chocolate. Oh, I have it here. Yep. 16 count milk chocolate Ada. Called for DMC 2/2 or 2/1 full cross. And I got 500 stitches in on it so far. Isn't that adorable? Oh, I love it. Love it. All right. Next up. I'm gonna do a few more and then I'm gonna pause the video because I really need to eat something. I might try to slice the videos together to make it one long video. I don't know yet. Okay, next up is Collidoscope. This is from Yasmin's Made with Love. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. And I'm doing this on a 14 count white Ada with the called for floss. It's just DMC. I started in the center and I'm working on the top middle motif, and I've done 500 stitches on it so far this year. So that is that one. Okay, next up is another new start, and this one is from Long Dog Samplers. I do that every time. Long Dog Samplers, and this one is Crossword. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I want to get like there. I know they have one other one. I feel like I've seen someone say that I've heard someone say that they actually have a total of like 3 of these crossword kind of looking things. And if there's 3, I want 3, but I want all of them. I'm doing this on a 2/2 on a 32 count Lugana in the color Exotic Orchid by I don't know who dyed it. I got this from a friend. I think a subscriber sent it to me. And the floss I'm using is a hank of silk from Silks for You. I just don't know the color, but it's like this cream and brown color. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it so far. I've put in 1,000 stitches on it. So yeah, that's where that is. Okay, So that's A through K. I'm at 1.5 hours. I'm going to stop the video. I think I might upload this into 2 parts only because I'm worried about the space on my phone because I still have to add in pictures. So I have to put it into my editor, add I almost said pre-op, add the beginning of the year photos, and then upload it to YouTube. And if I do both parts together, I'm worried I'm not going to have the space on my phone to combine the 2 edits and upload it. So I think I'm going to do this in 2 separate parts. So this will be part 1, and then stay tuned for part 2. And so that was A through K. I'll do L through, well, I was going to say L through Z, but it's really going to be L through Y because I haven't started the one pattern I have that starts with a Z. So I hope you like what you had to see so far. And if you have any questions about any of the pieces, pop a comment in the comment section down below and I will answer. If it's a chart that's available, I will try to provide you a link to it. If it's a retired piece, and unfortunately I can't provide you a link to the piece, but you can still at least check out the designer because I bet you 10 to 1 they'll have something that you like. But yeah, any questions, just leave me a question in the comment section down below. And if you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. It's been a little sporadic. I've been trying to stay consistent, but I was every 2 weeks, then I was weekly, then I went back to every 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to do every week, but now I'm gonna start trying to pepper in some extras, like my whip parade. I have some other stuff I want to start filming to kind of pop in. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned for part 2 of my 2024 mid-year whip parade, and I will talk to you guys later.